Today we're making braised fennel with sour cherries. Of course, you can also call it glazed fennel since it's deliciously jammy, or caramelized fennel since it's so sweet. Whatever you call it, fennel is one of the most glorious and underappreciated vegetables, and I am on a mission to change that. When you go fennel shopping, you might notice that some stores call it anise, a clarification for star anise haters. I am one of them, by the way. Fennel has absolutely nothing to do with star anise, so no licorice taste, I promise. Okay, let's get started. When I bring fennel home, I cut off the tough stems that stick out from it, so that it doesn't take up half the fridge. The stems are basically useless unless you're making fish stock. Let's trim the remainder of those stems off. If the outer layers are loosey-goosey, it's best to remove them and check for grit. Even though I rinsed the outside, I might have missed the grit between the layers, but this one looks clean. I'll also trim the bottom in case it's a bit dried up. Set your fennel on its bottom and cut in half. Now remove the tough triangular core. Just like on a cabbage, it's too tough to eat. If you encounter any green leaves inside the fennel, rip them out. We don't need them for this dish. Now slice your fennel pole to pole into 1/4 inch thick pieces. Depending on how flat your bulbs are, they might get unstable in the end, just like an onion does. In that case, tilt the remaining skinny piece forward and finish slicing. Let's set a stainless steel pan with 3 tablespoons of olive oil over high heat and wait for it to heat up. A stainless steel pan is the best option for this dish because it will give you the best brown bits, but a Teflon pan or enamel-coated cast iron will work in a pinch. Don't use seasoned cast iron since we'll be adding acidity. When the oil is hot and starts to shimmer, add the fennel. It's perfectly fine to crowd the pan. Sprinkle with a little salt and mix. Now cook without stirring for a few minutes to let the fennel brown. It's been about 3 minutes and I got some color, so it's time to stir. As you continue cooking your fennel, it will brown faster and faster, so keep an eye on it because you'll need to start stirring more frequently. Continue cooking on high heat until you get a lot of color on your fennel. Add more oil if the pan feels dry on the bottom. I usually go through about 5 rest, then stir cycles. Don't worry if some pieces are dark while others are light. We'll get it all to even out by the end. Look at all the brown bits we're getting. Yeah, that's what the stainless steel skillet is for. Reduce the heat to medium-low, add another pinch of salt, and pour in some dry white wine. The liquid will pick up the brown bits and make our fennel delightfully jammy. Cover the pan and cook until all the liquid is absorbed, about 10 minutes. My fennel feels nice and soft at this stage. If in doubt, poke it with a fork to check. If it didn't feel soft, I'd add another splash of wine and keep on cooking it covered. But ours is good, and we can proceed to adding dried cherries. They're completely optional, but fennel is delicious with sweet and tart fruit, so I decided to add them. Add a splash of water and scrape up all the brown bits. I don't know why I'm using tongs. I should have switched to a spoon with a flat edge. Cover and cook until the water is absorbed, about 5 minutes. This will pick up the remaining brown bits and plump up the dry cherries. Yay! I finally found my flat spoon. Now we are done and need to make sure we got the seasoning right. This means salt and acidity. I was happy with the salt but felt that I need a touch more acidity. And what better way to add that than pomegranate molasses? Of course, it could have been a splash of balsamic vinegar or lemon juice. What can you serve this with? Practically anything except for maybe vanilla ice cream. This fennel is as versatile as caramelized onions, so try it on pizza, pasta, sandwiches, beans, grains, or as a side dish with fish, pork, and poultry. Or just eat it straight like I'm doing here. Do you want to become friends with some unusual vegetable? Leave me a comment and I'll put it on my list of videos to make. Just don't forget to subscribe to Helen's Kitchen channel so that you don't miss it. And if you're ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in one of my classes.